Hello, welcome to Gold Fever Adventures. I'm Jack Tucker. I am back out here on this spot where I found some gold once upon a time. This is a little dirt road, and it's probably about, I don't know, at least 100 yards long. And I've tested it one time, and I found some really nice chunky stuff. I've been back several times, and I'm testing in different areas to try to find out where that's coming from. The original place I got it from, I kind of got more dirt around there and I didn't find anything else. So I've kind of gone around in different spots trying to find out how this gold has got laid in. It's very nice, chunky gold. It's rough. So I know it hadn't traveled very far. But anyways, I'm down here at another spot. I got me some buckets I'm going to fill up. I'm going to take them back and hopefully I can run them through a dry washer. We've had a lot of rain lately and the dirt might be a little damp or wet. I don't know yet till I get it dug up, but that's my plans for today. So anyways, I want to thank you guys coming along and sharing on all of these adventures. So, hey, let's just get some dirt and we'll go see if we can get us some gold. Thanks for coming along, guys.
Load up the chalk, it's time to roll. With hearts so wild and a common goal. Chasing the goal, we're ready for the thrill.
So there's a bigger wash right here coming down, and I can see how the ground is kind of sloping down this way. So I'm going to surmise that the gold has come someplace close by here. And there's a little dinky rivulet right here, running off right here, and it's kind of mounded up for some reason. This right along here. You can see how this is just all kind of, some reason it's mounded up. There's another little runoff right here. So I don't know if it pushed this here, but anyways, I want to get samples out of here. You see the larger rocks in there. I like these larger rocks. And if you look in here, you'll see a lot of your granites, a lot of sand and granites, quartz. But these larger rocks are what's interesting, because larger rocks mean big gold, and it may just be kind of coming right down through this way right here. So I'm going to get in this right here and get me some material out of here. And this is where I'm going to get my dirt at. But there's granites and quartz and red dirt, which is iron, and gold loves iron. So this is just, it looks to me like another good spot that I'm going to test out.
For gold.
Whew. Well, it didn't take long to fill those buckets up. 5 buckets. That didn't take long at all to fill them. Now, got to go back home, find something running through. This might be a little too wet to run. I'll find out. I'm right here. While I am right here, let me just show you where I kind of dug the first time and got some nice gold at. You can see that's a sample out there, a sample out there. But right here is where I got the nice stuff at, right here. And you can see that it's a low spot right there, but it's starting to come up on a hill right here. And this is the highest bank in this whole area, and then it drops back down. There's another wash over there. So this was the first time I got this sample, right here. And since then, been all over here trying to find more, but this was the only place I found it at. I even brought a little dry washer out here one time, and I dry washed right here too. So I don't know how this gold got put in right here and no place else around here. That's a mystery. If anybody can tell me why the gold is only right here in this area and I haven't been able to find it again no matter where I sample at, please let me know. Leave me a comment by all means. I am right here off the highway. You know, the wife says that maybe somebody was walking by and they just happened to drop a vial of the gold right there. And that's why I just happened to get it right there and no place else. Who knows why I got gold there, but anyways, that's where I've been digging at all up and down through this area trying to find that gold. But hey, it's a mystery. Gold is a mystery. That's why it's called prospecting.
Take a stand. Depend on my finds. Let the gold dust expand with every flash in my pan.
Well, you know, I can tell by looking at this here. This is too wet to run through a dry washer. See how that clumps together? That's too wet to run in a dry washer. So, I'm going to have to run it through a wet system. Gold separates better in water than air anyways. You get better gold recovery with running it through water than air than a dry washer. But sometimes out in the desert, dry washer's your only method because you can't haul a bunch of water out to the desert. So plan B. Here's plan B. I can run it faster this way, probably almost. Running it this way here, I can just dump my bucket up here on top and just slowly let it feed down. And most of the gold's going to be right here on this trap back here. All the finer stuff's going to fall through here. So there's a nugget trap right here. And anything that don't get caught there will generally get caught right here in these first few riffles right here. If it does happen to make it all the way down there, which I never clean that up until the very end, because if gold makes it down there, well, then this thing's not doing its job. So that means all of these buckets have to be transported over here. Oh. Let me show you my dry washer. This is what I was going to use. It was wet, so I set it upside down so it kind of helped it dry off. But look at all this water in here. That's from the last rain. You know, that's why they put these bolt plugs in here. So you could undo this here. Well, anyways, you pull that out and then you can drain all your water out. That's why the bolt plug's in there for, I'm sure. That and probably the fine dirt that goes down there. So, no dry washer for me. It's going to be running it through the wet system. All through the wet system. I've got 2 pumps in there. This one here is running on 1,100 gallons, and I think this bottom one's running on 2,000. That should be enough to push this down. I got shut-off valves, so I can't control the water if it's running too fast or too much. And then I'll just have to keep dumping my bucket out of there to recirculate out of here, which needs to be dumped out now. And I'm set to go. I'm going to need that. Let's set this off to the side here. Let's see if there's enough juice left in my battery. Okay. See how this is going to work here. Ugh. I think we'll hold half a 5-gallon bucket pretty good. See, these little dirt clogs on a dry washer, it won't break them down. So any gold kind of stuck on those little dirt clogs, or you get these rocks, you know, and you get little pivots in these rocks and dirt that's kind of in the crevices and that. Dry washer won't get rid of those either. So that's why you get better gold recovery with water than with your air. Good looking granites. Got quartz attached to it. And there's your black, your iron, all throughout here. And you can also, when they're washed, you can see if there's any big gold on them. Big pieces of gold. Just like that. Somebody asked me a while back, how much material can I run through this? Yards per hour or whatever. Well, there's a whole bucket, so you be the judge of that. How long that takes to run that through there. Turned out to be a good day here. It's been freezing cold these last few days. Rained. But today the sun is shining. Turned out to be a good day. Be a good day to go out metal detect too, but I got other plans sitting here, so I couldn't do that. Have to stay close to the home front today. See that dirt clog? Should have checked my tailing bucket. It wasn't where it's supposed to be. So gravel's getting into my tub. Will eventually make it over to my pump and start to plug me up. And I'll have to shovel that muck out of there. I do got a big water tank that I can fill to haul out in the desert when I want to do that, but like I say, then you got to haul tubs and you get all that muck. Dry dirt just sucks water so fast. So you got to have a lot of water, and then you got to deal with the muck and all of that. So it's easier for me just to haul this stuff home and run it at the house where it's easier to do, or run a dry washer. I think this one was closer to 3/4 of a bucket. Now to me, this looks like a big hunk of caliche. That's exactly what this looks like to me, a conglomerate rock, big piece of caliche, and how that got put there, that's a mystery right there. What that looks to me is a big piece of solid caliche right there. If that was on the bottom, that'd be the bottom layer, and all the gold's gonna lay up on top of that. You got tree roots. There's another big piece of quartz, white quartz. Got some reds in it. I like the reds in my quartz. Red's mostly like an iron stain or something. Rose quartz. That's pretty. But that there, that's a mystery here. Yeah, I know my bucket's full. I'm gonna have to empty my recircular, my tailings bucket here after I do this. That's what? How many buckets? 3 buckets. That's 3 buckets down. I'll take a break after this. I'll let it kind of clean itself out a little bit, and I'll take a gander in there. Gander, that's one of them cool words, gander. I'll take a gander in there and see if I see anything in there, any big nuggets or anything. Probably should have my angle just a little bit, maybe running too much of an angle, maybe just a little bit. Probably should. I like to run them flat as I kind of can. You don't want to angle too much where it's just flying the material off there. So I could angle that just a tad bit higher, I think. Okay, I'll let that clean itself out there. And being at the house, you know, I could just disconnect the pump from here and just let the water flow out of here, scrape that out, put fresh water in, and keep on going. It's one of the advantages of doing it from your house. Put your hand there. I still feel material kind of coming out a little bit. You put your bucket in, put the handle here in front. That way it's easier to grab and to yank it out. Just little tricks of the trade you learn as you go on. I think that's pretty well almost done there. No more rocks are coming out the end of my trommel, so that's another good sign. Okay, let me shut this down. Whew. And now this trommel does have a gate in there that I can open and close, so I can how many rocks or larger rocks I want to get in. It's also got this gate here that I can open and close, so that kind of larger rocks can have a chance to wash off first. That's a pretty cool little trommel unit, pretty good little setup. Gold fox. I like it. It's nice, and I like the pretty color too. I don't know, you see any gold in there? See any big pieces of gold? That'd be nice. See all this up here? That'd be nice if that's all gold right there. That would be nice. Yes, it would be. See, I see larger pieces of black sand. I like to see chunky black sand, chunky gold, fine black sand, fine gold. What I did is I put a pan down here to catch a lot of my tailings coming off, just so I can look at them. A lot of black sand. It's fine black sand, so that's okay. But there's a ton of black sand. A ton of that black sand. But it's fine black sand. That's all right. Fine black sand. I'm gonna pan this out just for the hell of it, just to see if anything's flying off of this here that I'm losing. I like these hex pans. Kind of got an advantage over regular pans. Some people might not like them, but I like them. And I do pan fast, so. But I'm not seeing any gold in there. No gold, so that's a good sign. That is a good sign, no gold. Okay. I don't know how I got all these tree roots in here. You know, tree roots can hold gold. Okay, one bucket left to go. Then I'll pan it out and we'll see if this is the spot that has the gold. Big clogs in here, some big rocks. Look at your rocks whenever you're in a wash or something and check them out. See if they're smooth, angular. It kind of gives you an indication if they've traveled or somehow ever how they got pushed in. You know, if they're smoother and rounder, or they're bumped and tumbled, or if they're just rough. Shovel it in and forget it. Cleanup is on its way soon. One more half bucket to go. Then the telltale sign if we got any gold or not. If I go back to that spot or a different spot and my testing to see where the gold is coming from. This is a cool little add-on on this trommel sluice here. I like this. Okay, last half a bucket to go. That's 5 buckets. Phew. You know, now that I've done ran everything, I think I probably have my trommel set up too high. Probably should have been down a little bit. And this here is adjustable too. Now that I'm already ran, I'll make the adjustments as needed. Oh well, it's set up there for next time. Telltale sign. Let's start up here first by getting this one out here. They're held together by wing nuts. Probably where the finer gold should be. I don't want to set that wing nut right up there. I better, let's do this instead. So I'll probably turn the water on and forget that wing nut's there. So I'll just set it right there. Need some water. I need some fresh water is what I need. I need some fresh water. Stay there. Okay. There's miner's moss. Give that a couple little tugs. Stretch it out from the corners. Get it to release all of that gold. Okay. Then this here, I can probably just take a little sneaky peek in there. See the black sand, but no color. I see no color. Okay, no color there. I'm just going to dump this back right there. Now, let's get me some fresh water again. That's why I should never put that wing nut up there. See, I would have forgot about that if I did that. Okay, this is just where the nugget trap is here. You know, he makes, I do have, it's a little box that's magnetic, and you can just stick it on here. That way you can put your nuts and stuff like that in there. This guy that made these, he kind of pretty thinks of everything, you know. All these little contraptions, just like this little drink holder that's right here. This is pretty cool too, I like that. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna set that right there. this is where I give it a couple taps of water to wash down the stuff that's up there. It's just going to get caught down there in that lower mat right there, though, so I can do that. Okay, and I can put the mat back in there. Okay. All right. This pan here is going to be more valuable. Now, since this was more concentrates, I probably should have a safety pan, but I don't. I'll just go a little more slower than normal. Instead of taking 3 minutes, I'll only take 2 minutes to pan this out. Okay. Pretty well down to just the black sand, so I think I can take a little sneaky peek. Let's see here. Well, it's not looking promising. It's not looking promising, folks. It's not looking promising, folks. It's not looking promising. No, it's not looking promising at all. That's 5 buckets. I don't even think there's a flick in there. Oh, maybe there's a flick. There's a flick. I mean, that thing is microscopic, but there is a flick. A flick. Wow. Okay. Well, put these back together, the wing nuts back on there, and you know, I've been all up and down that area right there trying to find where I got that chunky gold at a while back. And every place I've tried since then, I can't find it. But you know what? I haven't given up. I'll be back again. Anyways, I won't be back today though, but I'll be back there again. I'll be back again. I got more dirt to run here. Anyways, I'm out of here. Ran 5 buckets. Got maybe a flick. One little dinky flick. Pinprick. Anyways, I'm off to the next adventure. Leave me a comment down below. Where do you guys think all that gold is coming from? I got 3 buckets originally, and I came back and ran it through a dry washer, and I couldn't believe the amount of gold that was in there. Chunky stuff. I bet you there was probably a gram of gold in there, or close to a gram of gold. And then I went back and got 5 buckets, only got 1 chunky piece. And then went back, got more, never found nothing. And ever since, I never found nothing else again. Just that one spot. I can't believe that. Why is that? Why is that gold only in that one spot? Baffles me. Anyways, please like, share, subscribe. And like I say, I'm off to the next adventure. Appreciate all you guys hanging, coming along, sharing on all these adventures. They're my adventures, and I guess you guys are sharing them. So until our paths cross again, you guys all take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you guys all later.
Load up the truck, it's time to roll. With hearts so wild and a common goal. Chasing the goal, we're ready for the thrill. Through mountains and rivers, we'll climb every hill. With the sun on our backs, we take our stand, uncovering treasures buried in this land. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together searching, uncovering keys. With a gold pan in hand, we sift through the dirt. Each little glimmer makes our hearts surge. By the firelight's glow, our laughter rings as we dream of the riches tomorrow brings. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. By the firelight's glow, our laughter rings as we dream of the riches tomorrow brings. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. So here's to the nights beneath the stars. With our hearts full of dreams, we'll go far. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. Never alone. So here's to the nights beneath the stars. With our hearts full of dreams, we'll go far.